Thank you guys for coming and joining. Thank you for coming out and joining us, letting me get the opportunity to hear where you guys stand. I just have a question for both of you guys. According to Mr. Ricardo Mora, Norwich residents have had a record amount of fundraiser to become a board member of Norwich with the state. And so the question out there is this, will both of you guys pledge, will all candidates pledge that they will not hire individuals or their family members or give contracts to your supporters and your associates and family members?
Yes. Yes. I never thought that would happen. I thought by default the bidding process of any open position or contractual work to be done, repair, or let's say it was even IT, anything like that. I have always thought until now that it's any form of nepotism is not only discouraged but looked for and prevented and unlawful. And while you're gonna, I hope that no one approaches board members with that sort of pressure, but I have no intention of caving to anything like that. And to think that people are being approached with that now is sad, but I don't know, it's possible, but I imagine it's against law and it's to be prevented by all means.
Could you or would you support that if it was done voluntarily by a person in the community or a parent?
In our financial state, I absolutely believe that if let's say a local parent who's a good carpenter, let's say, and we need to improve a foyer or something like that, and they say something to the effect of, cover materials and my labor's free. And it's run by insurance, because a school district, you gotta be careful of liability, granted, I know that, but we absolutely need to take people up on that. I know it's been seen as risky in the recent past, but we're not in a financial condition to pick and choose discretionary spending like that. We need any form of help, and that essentially is a form of help. Local plumbers, local carpenters, sewage workers, anything. I don't see where else the money's going to come from. And if they're willing to help and they have skin in the game because they have their kids here, then why not consider that?
Okay, good.
I got a question. Considering the fiscal climate of the district, wouldn't you say that being able to, having the ability to raise funds would be beneficial for this school district?
In what way, like fundraising?
Fundraising.
Oh, absolutely.
Any kind of fundraising. Record-breaking fundraising, for example.
Sure.
Do you think it would be beneficial?
Absolutely. And for example, the Norwich Schools Foundation is definitely, certainly working on that. It's only a year in to being started. You have the PTA. I'm hoping that in the future they work in conjunction with each other. But the foundation itself was started for that very purpose, and it's not like it's some people in Norwich thought, hey, we should start something called a foundation. This is something that countless districts have. Even Park Ridge has its own foundation, and they're long established. And I think that when one of the Save the Band events was at the White Eagle, across the hall in one of the banquet rooms, the Park Ridge, maybe high school foundation was having a big fundraiser, and it was a big deal. Are we in that state yet? No. We can build up to that and raise funds. We already, it's already in the works to keep raising funds for safety needs, which is the current goal, as I understand, of the North Schools Foundation. So, yes, to answer your question, that's exactly what needs to be done. When the numbers get run and you see how much of this fundraising is able to cover, come face to face with needs, like if there's any other programs under threat of being cut, will that fundraising cover it? I don't know.
Nobody knows. There's no way to know.
Yeah, but by all means, and any form of local fundraising, another thing I thought about, and this may take grant writers to do this because they're in the field of preparing the grant to look correct. But for example, our science lab is pretty dated. If one were to look at it, they would say it's basically in the same state as when it was made, late 70s, let's say mid-early 80s. This is not something, even kids can work in the science lab and not be too inspired and like, wow, we're trying to do modern scientific things. It's just not inspiring. If a company like, and Chicago-based or locally based like Pfizer or Abbott Labs, if they were approached and asked, we have a district, we're in a district that could really use some help with the science labs. Any chance you can give us a grant of some sort? If that involves, I don't know the laws behind this, but if that involves putting up a plaque that says, new science lab provided by Abbott Labs, I'm fine with that if it gets us a new science lab. I'm not afraid of a little bit of commercial endorsement, especially if we can't be too proud at this point to say no to things like that. But that goes with what was mentioned earlier, that if there's money to be had out there, any way to look for it is to be done.
Mike, as Frank stated, the fundraisers a lot of schools do have their own foundations, and it does take a period of time for them to grow. And you have to reach out to the alma maters and see the people and get them up and get in contact with them. It takes time. We have the Save the Band right now. I don't know if anybody's working on it. So it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of hard work for these fundraisers to keep on going in order to receive the monies. So if they can work, it's great. But they also take a lot of work and a lot of dedication behind them in order for them to work properly too. So, but yes, that would be a nice idea.